Welcome and good evening. This is Big Time Super Friends, the show with movie and TV shenanigans. I am Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive, Toby-Wan Kenobi.
I'm Jonathan, and I'm nowhere near prepared for this.
I'm Marcus. This is my signed Jeff Johns Rebirth variant issue. Are you jealous? I know you are. I'm Marcus.
Hi, I'm Roger, part owner of Horizon Comics. We appreciate having the Big Time Super Friends in here doing the podcast tonight.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. I'm Leo.
And I'm Brian. And I'm dying.
All right, to get started off here, Justice League, The Dark Side Wars. Initial reaction, guys?
You know what? This is Roger's and Jonathan's first time here. I think, they go first. I want to see your initial reactions because I was reading it right next to him and he was just like, oh man, so there's a lot of stuff. Oh, by the way, guys, in case you didn't notice in the title, this is spoilers. So if you haven't read these issues, click away, add this to your favorites, come back to it whenever you have time because we will be spoiling the shit out of it for you.
And they're major spoilers.
Major.
Super.
Just your initial thoughts
Big
on
time.
your Dark Side War as a whole, as its entirety. I mean,
Oh, God. Well, dude, I mean, it's such a great series. I mean, it started at Justice League number 40. And with Darkseid versus the Anti-Monitor, building up to that, Batman getting the Mobius chair, everybody getting God-level powers halfway through, and then leading up to this issue, which was freaking amazing. I mean, it was
breakneck pace. I think that did
Agreed.
it for me. Like it was just like, as you're going through the whole thing, just nonstop, like kidney punches the entire issue.
I mean, we did get a lot of surprises within this Dark Side War, a lot of unexpected little drops here and there. The biggest one for me has to be, well, at least the one that affected me the most was Wonder Woman and the twin brother.
Yes.
Right.
Named
Yes.
Jason.
Jason
Right.
was his name.
That is like, and he's like, they mentioned that he.
man.
Well, no,
Isn't he?
No.
He's a kid in the cave.
no. It was.
Where's that?
No, the Kid in the Cave. That's Darkseid, like
Right,
reborn.
but that's.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's Jason because
No.
they
No.
didn't need the body.
No, they said.
No.
She said as Grail was
Yeah.
born. Wonder Woman's mom also had a child, and it was a boy.
Right,
Twin,
but they're
another
looking
twin.
for him, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's the prophesied one, the first male, I guess, to have stepped foot on
Yes.
Themyscira.
That was for me the biggest thing because they also mentioned that he was like the chosen one or something.
Yeah,
like,
he was the first one to set
I
foot.
mean, I don't even know how to even interpret that. Like chosen one for what?
Yeah, I'm not sure that story's
Yeah.
done.
It's
Because
check out that
Grail,
beginning.
Grail thought it was Steve Trevor. And that's why she juiced him up
With
and
the
used him
anti-life
against
equation.
And what-
against
go ahead.
against the Justice League, to take them out.
And what'd you think about like? I'm a little indifferent in this. Like when they all got their god powers, I sort of didn't like that, but I understood why they went there. I don't know if anyone else feels that way about it.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way.
Like
I
it was-
thought it was a little cool, but at the same time, a
Well,
little
I think
unnecessary.
the problem with reading it at the time when you're going through that and they're juicing all these guys up, you don't know how long it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, that's a bit much, to have, because it's like, I mean,
They're all gods, but for how long, kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah.
but it lasted through this issue
Yeah.
when Grail starts using, the baby like a freaking taser.
I kind of felt like it was like the Lion King, you know what I mean? When they just, baby, take all the powers. Ah, Savannah.
Actually, I lied. The biggest impact for me wasn't Jason. 'Cause there was so much thrown at me, and I just now realized it was the Batman realizing the three Jokers,
I
dude.
thought that was pretty.
I thought for sure they were going to drop the name,
Yeah.
but they didn't. Instead,
Once again, I think there's more to that story.
Oh,
Agreed.
for sure.
Started.
Right.
Yeah, they're not going to give it all away.
And I'm still like mind effed from that. It's like, what do you mean?
We all are,
That's
though.
what
We
it is.
all are.
Like,
Right.
what do
Well,
you
Man's mind
mean?
fucked
That
Yeah.
that might be a point to save once we get to Rebirth because of that panel they showed
Mm-hmm.
in Rebirth time to that.
And the other thing is that you saw kind of glimpses. Dr. Manhattan did have a presence in the Darkseid War. No, hold on a second.
You're
I'm
one
thinking
step
of,
ahead of the
I'm
game,
thinking-
bro. You're
one
one
step
step
ahead. Ignore
Damn.
everything I just said.
Spoilers and spoilers. Damn.
Anyone else? Anything else that caught you guys kind of like, oh man, like this is pretty much insane.
The Green Lantern,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ring and everything.
Oh, that was
The
really
transfer
cool.
of that.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I
Well,
when the
just with the Black Racer
Yeah.
killing
Oh, that's
Volthoom,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
not Jessica Cruz, and that's how they saved
right.
her and brought her back to life.
That was ingenious.
Yeah, it was.
That was,
It was
a great way to like.
'Cause
John slaughtered the crime syndicate in this issue. It's like, oh, you're from Earth 3, toast.
Out of here.
Man.
Because what they described that as, it wasn't like a person; it was,
It was
an
a
entity
parasite,
kind of thing,
yeah,
right?
like a
Right?
parasite
Okay.
entity
Yeah.
that embodies whoever the ring is wearing.
And I forgot how the Flash, because we literally just got done with all these issues. I forgot how the Flash was able to separate himself from the
I
racer.
think he outran it.
No, it was the baby.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
used Mazaz to try
Yeah.
to take
Yes.
the power of death, but because death is an actual, it's not just a power, it's an
right.
entity
Yeah.
that it couldn't
It had to
take it. So that separated.
Home for two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What more you
About
got,
to
bro?
strike out. This is DC Survivor.
You're wearing that Dodgers hat, striking out's usual, right?
Kershaw, yeah.
Well, no, because it was right before that Superwoman went out.
Yeah,
With,
that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the first holy crap moment. Is when
Right.
Superwoman just got
Annihilated.
Omega beamed or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking to Roger about this earlier. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but when Wonder Woman was facing off with Grail, I'm just gonna call her Grail. Someone correct me on the
What's
comments.
her name?
That is her name, right? That's how it's spelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she shot at one point Wonder Woman with the like Omega beams or something, like her laser sight, and she broke Wonder Woman's
That was the
gauntlet.
Yeah.
older one, but yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, not even Darkseid can do that. So
No.
I was asking Rogers, like, do you think he's more powerful? She's more powerful than Darkseid?
Well, that's
possibly?
essentially what got him too, right? Was the vision?
I think
Well,
it
I think-
might just be because of the Amazonian. side.
Yeah.
like
Right.
she's technically an
Yeah, she's
Amazon
half
sister.
Amazonian, so
And
it's
I
like an infused thing, bro.
Like, so that's a foil to her automatically.
and I definitely wanted them to delve in deeper with Darkseid and her Darkseid and how her mom and him was it. I don't know how they were able to kind of, I'm trying to say this, you know, kind of like, gee, how they
How they
How they got
coitus.
How they had intercourse.
Was his Omega beams on? Like,
magic.
but she wasn't. I suspect we're going to see way more of her in the coming issues for sure. Her story is very, very intriguing. Let's move on to the last days of Superman. Now, again, the honors are your guys's. What are your guys' first thoughts on just the story as a whole?
First impression when they announced it as Final Days of Superman, I'd said it earlier. I thought for sure there was going to be an angle, some sort of like just kidding, an aha moment where we would have like a depowered or a powerless Clark and something like he'd not be Superman, but that would be
he'd
like
go off and live his happy
Yeah.
life. Happily
But
ever
no,
after.
they flat out
Just
murked, killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ashes. And,
Yeah, dust.
and it was probably one of the best story arcs that they've done with the New 52 Superman since they started. Pacing wise, it was just right. He set out and handled all the business he needed to handle, and then took down the bad guy in the end, and then it cost him. So I mean, it was good.
Do you think he returns? Like that specific Superman returns?
If they do, it won't be for a while. I think they're pretty invested in the pre-New 52 Superman being the main star.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
that's
agree
what
with that
that's
one,
the
yeah.
feeling I got from the final issue, especially.
Well, he might need the big blue guy.
Speaking of, I'm just gonna
Not
finish
yet.
off the last days of Superman. I'm kind of with Jonathan in the sense that I was expecting a little bit more of a. I definitely didn't think they were just going to straight out murk him. I definitely didn't think that. I thought there was going to be some kind of twist in it, but they really it's pretty straightforward. From beginning to end, you know he's going to die. They tell you from the first issue, and they tell you why he's going to die from the very first issue of all the previous battles that he had. I think it was a good death. I
Yes.
think it was a good death.
It's a
Yeah,
noble
it was.
death.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
noble death.
Like you said, he earned it. You
Yeah.
know, like that was the way to send him out.
And at the end, I think Wonder Woman asked, like, we have so many questions or something, like, and
To the new Superman or the
yeah,
New
and he's like,
52.
I'll answer them in due time, or like not at this time.
now
And-
is that Superman? He has a son, right? And
Yeah,
Right.
is
John.
because things were just coming at me so fast. Is the girl that he's with, the woman that he's with, Lois?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
That's
okay.
That,
it is-
from,
that whole thing
um,
is addressed in a miniseries that ends tonight also. Superman, Lois, and Clark. And that's where the pre-New 52 Superman and Lois were together.
Mhm.
They had their kid and crossed over to this universe through the Convergence event.
and he's just been kind of just hiding.
He's in the
hiding along,
shadows.
all in the
Mhm.
shadows.
Mhm.
Doing
Until now.
acting as like a Superman, but a covert one.
But even at the end, you know, he's still kind of secretive because he even says, like, you won't find me, I'll find you. Like,
Yeah.
when the time's ready, like, I'll
Which is
find
kind
you.
of cool because he's
Mhm.
you know he's a little bit, you can tell he's a little bit more seasoned than
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
For
some
sure.
of the other Justice Leagues or members, and it's kind of cool to see maybe Supes call some shots instead of Batman always being the one that kind of has
Yeah.
has the upper edge on
The authority.
on
Yeah.
everybody.
And just as a side note, before we get into the actual Rebirth issue, there was another series that took place in like 2013, 2014, and that is before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan. Now, I went back and took a look at those issues, and apparently he's the one that created this 52 universe, right? Am
I don't think I'd go as far to say create. I think he's the one that screwed it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's the one, like, because remember, he's a cold, calculating, cruel scientist, you know. I think either if it was intentional, it was let's see what happens and let's take a bunch of stuff away and mess with these
I think that
guys.
that's how issue 4 ended of Dr. Manhattan. He says, let's just see what this creates. And he, like, you know,
Yeah.
He
just
creates
throws
a
some stuff.
universe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
And the thing is they didn't really. Someone could interpret that so differently because
Sure.
it wasn't like so on the nose. Like,
Yes.
52. This is, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah,
up, or-
you would think that maybe it has something to do with their storyline or something, you know? what I
yeah.
mean?
And if it wasn't for where we get into it shortly, the Rebirth issue, I would not have thought anything of that.
No.
When I first read Dr. Manhattan, there's no way that
That would have.
even crossed my
You wouldn't-
mind.
Yeah.
My first thought was it harkened back to the end of Watchmen.
That's what
the
I thought,
first
too.
thing is
Yeah.
it just, he says, all right, now that when him and Adrian had their final conversation, where are you going to go? I'm going to go create some life. You know, I thought that was kind of in the Before Watchmen series with him. I thought that's what it was harkening back to, was just that. Now, maybe that's all it was at the time. Maybe Jeff Johns saw that and was like, I can work with that.
Yeah.
kind of
Most
thing.
likely.
That was gonna be my.
open-ended.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
That's
You know.
John-
that's
it.
another detail.
Yeah.
That's another detail altogether. But that was my initial thought on it.
Well, in Rebirth too, I think it's Wally that keeps talking about having someone has stolen time from
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
Years.
Yeah.
Well, from
So
everything.
he
that
took 10
somebody
years from us
stole.
just to weaken us.
So it's almost like he, right, maybe he didn't create the universe, but he interceded in it, and
Yeah.
he did
Yeah.
something in there to disrupt the fabric of time
To weaken the Justice
in
League.
there,
Yeah.
to change everybody's course.
And speaking of Wally West kicking off in Reboot, that is literally the opening pages. Wally West
Rebirth,
shows up
yeah.
Rebirth. Yep.
as Kid
Trying to make
Flash.
contact.
Yeah.
As Kid Flash, 10 years. I think he did mention 10 years. He lost 10 years
Yeah.
or something like that.
10 years
Yeah.
went missing.
And wow, that was
Well, yeah.
like,
That was amazing. Like, Jesus.
The thing I liked most, I think that made me smile throughout the whole thing, wasn't necessarily like, oh, they brought back Wally, which was great in and of itself, but it was the relationship between all the characters and how it connected for once. For once, I felt that there was an emotional quality that was weaved throughout the whole thing that
For sure.
was lacking in a
that's
lot
good.
of the later New 52 books. The big thing that I took away was there was always a mentor and a student throughout a lot, especially the Legacy chapter. And I, for one, loved that probably the most. I think that's been missing the most in a lot of the stories, is just the relationship with the characters. The whole thing with Wally and Barry, that solidified it for me.
And I thought for sure that he was gonna die.
Yeah,
Until-
I agree.
And
Like-
you
I
totally
was
buy
like,
into it. You're just
oh.
like nerd tears.
Oh
just
my
I
God.
know.
You were getting ready. That last little panel where it's like all the flash faces.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
dude,
Oh,
I'm
no.
I know.
Like, oh.
Then it's like I think it's just like part of his face that is like
Yeah.
there at the very end. And
Yeah.
then,
then Barry
yeah, he
is.
just grabs onto his
Yeah.
arm, and I'm like, oh my god, he just gave me shivers. Like just talking about
Couldn't
it.
even
Still,
say it.
no, I exactly. You know what I mean?
And you know what? Honestly, this is the type of story that I believe DC needed
Oh
for
yeah.
a
for
very
sure.
long time, and it brings back the excitement for me. You know, of going to see, you know, Superman, the Wonder Woman, the follow up issues that will come. There, I mean, Jeff Johns. Why you gotta be so good?
I know.
Subscribe.
He's the god of comics.
I know.
I just enjoyed how he
The
weaved
god of the
everything.
scribe.
And what's funny,
Just started connecting. I mean, Swamp Thing and Constantine.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That was sweet. That was a nice.
Like, I
little
can't
touch.
wait to see how a lot of the loose ends and
Yeah.
or I shouldn't say loose ends, but the threads
Mm-hmm.
that are in this pay off. Shut up and take all my money for all the Rebirth books.
I know.
That's how I feel. Like, just give me everything.
Yeah.
Like, it was. I'm that excited.
that hand reaching through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you guys think about when I first saw Dr. Manhattan's presence? Actually, when I first started opening up the first couple of
watch,
pages,
yeah.
The first
watch,
page.
and I was like,
Initially
"Oh man,
thought,
is this
yeah.
Dr. Manhattan?" Like
Once again,
okay.
harkening
Yeah.
back to the original Watchmen series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the watch that made me feel that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know, he made his first presence known when he blew up that woman in the purple
Pandora.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's
Yes.
just her
Well,
mind.
that and who we suspect annihilated Owlman and Metron
Yes.
at the end.
Yeah,
of
no, that was
Darkseid
cool.
War too.
I know.
Like, that's his signature.
Oh,
just
my
the
goodness.
Yeah. They were like, oh, he's
that
already here.
disintegration.
Oh,
So-
Because that's how like the chair was all bloody and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like a
And
boom.
It was just
Dustin.
mist. It was just
Yeah,
mist
just
of
dust.
blood. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, he's here.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You're gone.
And,
That's it.
and that's a really cool way, because you got the sense that Dr. Manhattan's pretty scary,
Yeah.
but because
Oh, yeah.
he's so just like calm
Stoic.
Yeah.
and stoic, like you don't necessarily feel it with not showing him and just showing the aftermath of his presence. That makes him feel like a very very scary monster that they're gonna have to deal with.
Do you think that they're making this kind of seem like he's going to be like a bad guy?
I would almost hope so, because I would
think
like
yes.
to
Yes.
see
too.
Because how are
Definitely.
you going to handle that? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, what are you going to do?
exactly, because I mean he's a surgical, just precise, scary, powerful, godlike character.
It's like he just has to think you out of existence.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're out of existence.
He doesn't even have to move. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's like he could blow you up from like Mars. You know, just like, it's like there you
Probably
are.
what he did.
It's like
Yeah.
and you know they say Superman's OP. Superman's not
Yeah,
OP.
I know
No.
exactly.
No.
This is gonna take some of that hate away from Superman and like deflect it over
Give it to
to
Dr. Manhattan.
yeah.
There's a lot of oh my god, I don't if he is the bad guy, I don't
Oh,
even know
man.
how they're gonna deal with him. Batman my ass. Get out of here.
Hiding
no-
behind
You were already
rocks.
useless in BVS.
I know.
Come on.
There's no way. So, oh man, I want to reread these issues again.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
I like the whole
man.
little scene at the toward the end where Batman was like,
Oh, yeah, the Batcave.
yeah, chipping away, and he's
right.
found
the
the little
watch.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
watch.
yeah.
Hold on a second. That was a pin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're being watched or
Comedians.
something.
It was the
Yeah.
comedian's pin.
Oh my goodness. Do you think the others will get involved? Like the comedians?
I
So-
at the very
so-
least,
Spectre?
who the villain wise that could be, I think Ozymandias for sure.
Yeah.
Because the final dialogue at the end was the exact final dialogue between Dr. Manhattan and Adrian in Watchmen. So at the very least, I'd like to see them almost tag teaming, messing with the DCU. you know, and I think that'd be a cool
my
way
goodness,
because
That'd be crazy.
If Ozymandias comes through to
Yeah.
Bruce.
yeah,
I know.
exactly. You know, could you imagine a face off between Ozymandias and Batman, and then you know having as you get Soups and a couple of the other powered heroes to take down
Oh
Manhattan.
my goodness! Like I
Well,
would
they
say
got, Ray Palmer too.
Yeah.
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 He's in here.
he's like I would say he's smarter than Batman. If I had to put money on it,
I would have to agree with you. I think.
I think in a
thinking
different
about
way.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's more.
But what a better match!
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Batman
Yeah.
could play chess with him for
Oh,
sure,
sure.
but it's just a different kind of mental game with
Yes.
Ozymandias.
And someone that actually matches, you know, because Batman
Matches
has
well,
some of the most amazing villains ever to grace the screen and the comics for sure. But I've never seen someone that matches
Ozymandias he's on his
kind
own,
of
man.
intellect.
Yeah, well, Bruce is I mean, he's always has a defensive mindset, almost being
Yeah.
prepared for everything, whereas Ozymandias is offensive.
He's long game.
He's trying to affect outcomes.
Yeah.
Whereas Batman's trying to prepare for him.
Oh my goodness!
He's probably setting him up right now.
The thing I liked also about the fact that they incorporated with bringing in the Watchmen is Jeff Johns, when he was writing this story and talking about the whole Rebirth Initiative, his pillars, I guess you could say, were hope, optimism, and legacy.
Yeah.
And that comes through a lot. But how else are you going to juxtapose that feeling than against something bleak and cynical like Watchmen?
Right.
Because that's that universe. It's that gritty, dark, our heroes fail us, they're not really
Right.
heroes kind of thing. But then let's show that in reflection to the DC universe. So that's what has me most excited once I got that inkling that the Watchmen might actually be woven into the real DCU. I was like, that is a really cool way
Yeah.
to show like that's what's been missing is that optimism, hope, and legacy part of the
some
DCU.
good juxtaposition going
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah,
would've
I just
never
don't,
even-
I don't know when they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you've got all the rebirth issues coming out. The number one's the new series starting it up. It's like, I mean, there's no events put out on the horizon, and maybe this is something that they're just sowing seeds, and they're going to let it grow organically,
Which-
you know, over the course of the first year.
I'm okay with
and then
it.
Some
maybe
Easter
come
eggs
up.
and all
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
them.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
okay with. I don't need a big event coming right on the heels of this. I'm so
Right,
excited
yeah,
to
yeah.
read
Right.
all the new places.
Wonder
that,
Woman specifically
yeah,
for me. I
Let it
want to read that
germinate.
one.
Yeah, definitely.
exactly. You know,
What about the Jason Wonder Woman's brother? What do you guys suspect he's the chosen one for? For what purpose?
I don't know, but I also wanted to touch up on that because do you think that he's like related to like Jason the Argonauts like that
I think
whole
that might-
mythical?
That's
I
interesting.
think
I
that
mean,
might be
yeah.
a hearkening
Potential
to
there,
that
yeah.
because it's the Greek mythology. and-
Correct.
Yeah.
And one thing that Azzarello and Chang did on their run was really weave a lot tighter the Greek mythology to Wonder Woman. I mean, that's her universe, so why not kind of hearken to
Agree.
Jason and the Argonauts and
Definitely.
Right, and my sense is with Rucka taking over the Wonder Woman book that, you know, the interesting thing about Wonder Woman, you know, what they've told us is that like the even or the
Yeah.
odd numbered issues are going to deal with the modern day, you know, Wonder Woman and what she's dealing with, and then the even numbered issues are going to be in the past. They're going to deal with
Wonder Woman
you know,
year
Wonder
one.
Woman, right, year
Yeah.
one with all the way back. I think that's where you're going to get some of the. Maybe some of the well, actually, you could get Jason in both of them.
Yeah.
But it's you know, in doing that, it's really going to delve more into the Greek mythology side too. So, I you know, I'm so
excited
stoked for that
Yeah,
book.
I'm super excited for that book.
Do you think they incorporate any of these new, possibly just thinking outside the box a little bit? Do you think they would incorporate now that Jeff Johns is, you know, kind of executive producer and
Hiatus
DC?
on the
Yeah,
comics?
he's taking
Yeah.
a break now.
Yeah,
But-
but he's in charge of the movies. so-
Yeah, but do you think that would will transfer over to like the
Oh
movies?
God, I hope so.
I would hope
That
so.
would be
Yes.
amazing.
hope so.
Yeah.
Did they already do that with the Flash talking to
Kind of that
Bruce?
little mini
I
Flashpoint
thought
thing.
about
That's
that
what that
instantly
yeah.
when when I saw that I was
in
thinking
BVS. That was
yeah.
my first thought was
Which is
Flashpoint
if
reference.
that's what they've been doing. What a long con they could be working on.
It also gives them an out too.
on everybody.
It also gives them an out. Like if they were expecting, or weren't
Right.
sure how BVS was going to do,
Right,
they could
but
be
this
like,
is
"All right,
the
Jeff,
little-
now
this
we
is
need
the
you to come in
little
and
seed,
fix
yeah.
all this." So Flashpoint,
You
us,
can use
know,
that. Yeah,
kinda-
exactly.
I would,
Johnify
I would definitely want to see the Jeff Johns edit for BBS.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be a whole new movie.
It would be.
guys-
It would be a
yeah.
better one
It wouldn't
too.
be a 3.5.
Exactly. Be a 9.5. I'll tell you that much.
But do you think like maybe they might incorporate in the cinematic universe maybe like a Watchmen, possibly like a crossover event, or I mean that you
could be,
talk
like-
you talk epicness.
That could, yeah.
Down the
Wait,
line,
like
Phase
yeah.
5 or
Yeah.
something.
If they get planning that far, I mean, it'd be cool. But I guess it would really depend on film property wise what they
Yeah.
can get away with at
Yeah.
Warner Brothers at this point.
Well, the nice thing about DC is they own all their characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
They don't have to pussyfoot around like Marvel does.
Yeah.
That's
They
that's
they
true.
can do whatever they want
They don't
and
have any
plan out.
split.
I don't know. Now, I don't think Johns is going to have much input into the Wonder Woman movie. That's well underway.
That's done. They
That's
finished.
actually
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in post.
So, but after this, it's an open book. I can't wait to see what they do.
It's just going to be exciting, super exciting. Can we just stop this podcast now so I could just reread it? But anything else that you guys just stuck out in your mind? We crossed over the Jokers being. Oh, by the way, I think I briefly mentioned it about
Yeah,
the
the-
Jokers.
yeah, the-
three names.
The
Well, the three Jokers.
Well, they
Jokers.
showed the
Because it
panel
looked like a
showed some
classic Joker,
Yes.
the Killing
yeah.
Joke
The
Joker,
yes,
and the
sir.
New 52 Joker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess it leaves the question to be: is it the same one just outside of its own timeline, or is it actually
Three
three
different
separate
entities kind of
people,
thing? Yeah,
or
yeah.
three different parallel dimension ones?
Which do you prefer?
Whatever is going to give me the best story.
Well, it's like an evil trinity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to go with that. And I don't know.
I thought for sure that they were going to possibly release the name.
Well,
That's-
there was a rumor of like what's his name, the Gelos, the god of laughter, or
Yeah,
something.
Helos or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, something like that.
In,
But
in
that-
the Dark Side War.
Yes, they were referencing that might have been his presence, like outside. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
At
Well-
first, I was like, I took it literal. Like,
Yeah.
Gelos is his name.
Yeah,
But I don't think that is the
I don't know.
case.
I don't know.
So
Not possibilities.
I do want them to. It has been a long time. I would like to know like a definitive Joker story and name, the whole nine. Or I mean, I know some people prefer it to be kind of like left
Ambiguous
unknown.
kind of thing. Yeah,
I don't know where you guys fall into that, but
Hey, as long as it
It's a good
leads
story.
to
Yeah.
to
It's
a
good
story.
storytelling,
That's my
I'm
thing.
down with it.
If it just makes me like feel how I felt reading Rebirth and Justice League 50, I don't care. His name could be freaking Isabel for all I care. I'd still be like, cool, all right. So
well, I think we've got over all the basics.
Yeah,
Pretty
we-
much, right? I mean, am I
Yeah.
missing something here?
No, I
No,
think we covered
no.
everything. The
Watchmen.
Joker, yeah.
Joker, Jason, Greel, Dark Side War.
What
The
if
whole
the
nine.
Joker's name was Jokes on You? I don't know, man.
I'll edit that out. So I'll save you the humiliation.
And that's the end. Bye, guys.
And we're done. No?
That's all, folks.
But anyways, if you guys like this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and visit your local comic book shops if you want the best.
Horizon Comics.
Horizon Comics.
Horizon
Yeah.
Comics.
Check Roger
Come see
out,
this man.
and he will hook you up.
First taste
nothing's
is
free.
free. First taste is free.
Anyways, nice.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
You.